Hi, everybody. I'm going to do just a really short screencastify to look at the vocabulary that's important in this section of natural selection. Okay, so our first slide is looking at the vocabulary term reproduce. Remember when we did the characteristics of living organisms, we talked about the fact that one of the things that makes an organism alive is that its species can reproduce. So remember we mentioned really briefly that the species as a whole has to reproduce. Might there be organisms within the species that can't reproduce? Sure. Are there people that can't reproduce? Sure, there are. Are there animals that can't? Yeah. But in general, the species can reproduce. And so when we produce things called babies, but the big girl term is offspring. Okay, so offspring refers to the babies, right? And remember that all living things have to reproduce, even if they're single celled organisms. Okay. Second slide, sexual reproduction. So remember, there were two types of reproduction. There was sexual reproduction, which means that there's two parents. And remember, there was a combination of their DNA. Okay. If it is asexual, that means not sexual, means that there are not two parents, and that the DNA basically in that organism just doubles and you have a clone. You have two clones. Okay. But in this case, you have a parent, you have a mom and you have a dad. Okay. And then they have offspring. So their DNA, remember, you get 50% from your mom, 50% from your dad. That's sexual reproduction. Generation. When we talk about generations, and next year in high school, you're going to talk more about genetics, and generations are going to become really, really important then. So in this, generation just means all of the organisms that were born at that same time. So people all around your age, you're considered the same generation. And usually the technical time is about 15 to 20 years, right? So anybody born within 15 to 20 years is typically considered the same generation. So your grandparents would be one generation, then your parents would be another generation, your generation, and then your children will be a different generation. Okay, so generation of the people or organisms, not just people, born at the same time. And then the last vocabulary term is variation. Differences in the traits of individuals of the same species. All you have to do is look around your classroom, and there's so many beautiful variations, right? You have some people that have beautifully brown eyes, are so brown they're almost black, and then you have people that have blue eyes and green eyes and amber eyes, right? Hair colors, all kinds of different. Skin tones, all kinds of different. The height is different. Everything, right? There's so many different variables, but the traits might be different, right? What you see, but we're the same species. Okay. So those are the 4 vocabulary terms that are going to come up in this next unit. So I hope that this clarifies things a little bit. And remember, feel free if you have to come back and you have to review the term, you know where it is. Okay. Thank you.